The human landfill stretched endlessly under the pale morning sun-an ocean of broken machines. Old clothes, rusted metal, and plastic mountains. It stank of oil and damp earth, but the little alien girl didn't seem to mind. Her thin, blue-gray fingers sifted gently through the debris, careful not to cut herself on sharp edges. Every few moments she paused, lifted a scrap of something, and held it to the light only to sigh and set it aside. Leary was only 8 by her, species years equivalent to maybe 5 for humans, but her large golden eyes were sharp with determination. She hugged a ragged satchel to her chest as she searched, whispering softly to herself, "I need a present for Mama. Something pretty. Something she'll smile at." Leary's family lived on the outskirts of the human colony, one of the many alien refugee clans who had survived the orbital fires years before. The humans had let them stay, but work was scarce, and their home was barely more than patched metal sheets and scavenged wood. Her mother's birthday was today, and Leary had nothing to give her. Nothing except this place. It's a dump where humans threw away things too broken or too old. But broken things could be fixed. Old things could be loved again. Her mother did that all the time with their clothes, their tools, their home. So Leary believed she could find something here worth giving. A small glass bead glimmered under a cardboard flap. Leary gasped and scrambled for it, but it was cracked in half. She stared at the fracture running through it and swallowed the disappointment. "Maybe Mama won't mind," she murmured, touching the crack, but even she knew it wasn't good enough. Her mother deserved whole things, beautiful things, not shards. She set it down gently, as though afraid to hurt its feelings. A soft clatter sounded behind her footsteps. Leary stiffened. Humans came here sometimes, teenagers or scavengers. And they didn't always like refugees picking through their trash. She crouched, trying to make herself small. The footsteps drew closer. Leary spun around and stumbled backward. A human boy, older than her, maybe 13 or 14, stood a few feet away. He had messy black hair, a patched jacket, and a backpack slung over one shoulder. His hands were in his pockets, and he looked surprised to see her. "Oh, hey," he said, raising both palms peacefully. "Didn't mean to scare you." Leary froze. She didn't run, but her eyes darted toward the exit path. The boy softened his expression. "You okay, you're?" Far from the refugee quarters, Leary didn't answer. She hugged her satchel tighter and looked down. "What are you doing out here?" he asked gently. She bit her lip. She knew some humans were kind, but others. Others laughed at her accent, her clothes, her strange ears. "Still?" he'd asked kindly, so she whispered the truth so softly he almost didn't hear it. "I need a gift. For my Mama." The boy blinked. A gift? From a dump? Leary flinched, as if his tone had scolded her. I don't have credits. I can't buy anything. But sometimes humans throw away pretty things. I want to find something nice." Realization washed across the boy's face, followed quickly by guilt. He knelt so he wasn't towering over her. "What's your name?" he asked. "Leary, I'm Evan." He offered a small smile. "And it's your mom's birthday." Leary nodded. He looked around at the piles of discarded junk, the rusted bicycles, cracked mugs, shattered plastics. Then he looked back at her tiny, hopeful face. "You've been searching alone?" he asked. "Yes." "Since when?" "Since sunrise." Evan's chest tightened. She was shaking from the cold. Her little feet were dusty, her fragile hands scratched from rummaging through metal. Evan sat on an overturned crate and took off his backpack. "Mind if I help?" Leary blinked, startled. "Help me?" "Yeah." He smiled. 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1. Leary shifted uncertainly. "You won't." "Take it for yourself." "Nah, it's for your mom, right? I'll help you find something she'd love." For the first time that morning, Leary's eyes glimmered with hope. She nodded shyly. Together, they sifted through sections Evan knew well. He came here often to find parts for old electronics as hobby. He knew which piles had more usable things, and which were mostly junk. They found a metal bracelet, but it was too bent. A music box, but but its mechanism was rusted beyond repair. A small mirror. But the glass was missing entirely. Leary tried to hide her disappointment each time. Evan kept searching. Your mom? What does she like? He asked. Leary thought for a moment. Mama likes colors. And things that shine in the sun. She says light reminds her of home. Before the fires, her voice softened at the memory. Evan nodded slowly. Okay. Colors shiny. Got it. They wandered toward the far end of the dump, where old electronics were piled. Evan remembered something an old bin of broken jewelry that a shopkeeper threw out last week. Maybe something had ended up here. He climbed up a mound of debris carefully. Stay there, I'll check up top. Leary waited at the base, watching him anxiously. Evan rummaged through a pile, tossing pieces aside until something sparkled. Leary, he called. Can you catch? She held out her hands. Evan tossed down a small object. Leary caught it clumsily, then gasped. It was a pendant, a teardrop-shaped glass charm, smooth and translucent, with tiny flecks of shimmering color inside. The chain was tangled and a little tarnished. But the charm itself, it looked like a captured piece of sunrise. It's beautiful, she breathed. Evan slid back down next to her. It's cracked on the side, see? But it's not broken. And the chain just needs cleaning. Leary held it against her chest. It shimmered even in the dusty light. Her eyes softened. Mama will love this. But then her gaze fell to the chain and the hope faded. I don't know how to fix. I can fix it, Evan said immediately. Come on. My house isn't far. Leary looked worried. Humans there? My mom's at work. And I'll keep you safe. Promise. After a moment, she nodded. Evan's house was small, cluttered, and cozy. Tools lay scattered across a wooden table. Leary stood shyly in the doorway as he filled a bowl with warm, soapy water. Here, he handed her a soft cloth. Clean the pendant while I work on the chain. Leary dipped the charm gently, rubbing away dirt and grime. Bit by bit, the colors inside grew brighter reds, greens, golds. Blues swirling like tiny galaxies. Evan focused on the chain, untangling it with practiced hands and polishing away the tarnish. He reconnected a broken link and held it up to the light. It's ready, he said. LIR, I offered the pendant. Evan attached it carefully and handed it back to her. Leary stared. It looked new, beautiful, glowing. Her small hands trembled. Why help me? She whispered. Humans don't always like us. Evan shrugged awkwardly. You needed help. And I'd want someone to help me if I were you. She looked at him a long moment, then smiled. A small, shy, radiant smile. I will tell Mama about you, she said softly. She will think you were very kind. Evan rubbed the back of his neck, embarrassed. It's nothing, really. But Leary shook her head. It is not nothing. You made something broken into something beautiful again. Her words made his chest feel warm. Want me to walk you home? Evan asked. She nodded eagerly. Leary's neighborhood was a cluster of small shelters built from metal scraps and wooden planks. When they reached her home, her mother, tall, with pale silver skin, stepped out, alarmed. Leary, I've been looking everywhere. Where were you? I was so worried, Mama. Leary rushed to her, pulling out the pendant. Happy birthday. Her mother froze, stunned. She lifted the pendant slowly, as if it might vanish. Leary, where did you... I found it. And Evan helped me fix it? Her mother's eyes flicked to the human boy. Years of hardship had carved uncertainty into her face, but slowly her expression softened. She placed the pendant around her neck. The charm glittered against her skin, casting tiny spots of rainbow light. It's beautiful, her mother whispered. Emotion thickened her voice. Thank you, my little light. Leary beamed. Evan stepped back awkwardly. I should go wait, Leary's mother said gently. Thank you for helping my daughter, truly. Her voice held sincerity, not obligation. Evan smiled faintly. I'm glad I could help. Leary tugged his sleeve. Will you visit again? He hesitated, then nodded. Yeah, I'd like that. Her smile widened. As Evan walked home, he glanced back once. Leary stood beside her mother, the pendant shining brightly between them, an old piece of human trash turned into a symbol of love, and he couldn't help thinking, sometimes the smallest kindnesses made the biggest light.